Welcome to the social circle where creators come together to turn ideas into impact and goals into a reality. I'm Candace, and this is
Jennifer, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. We're so excited that you guys are here today because, as always, we have another very awesome episode.
Start planning your content strategy. Look at your calendar. Think about the upcoming holiday season and recenter your strategy when it comes to content. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
And I love that idea too because we kind of get so maybe burnt out, I would say, by the end of Q4, beginning of Q4, nearing the end of the year. It's like you've been doing so much leading up to now, and it just feels like, oh, what am I going to do? This is a really good help for you're building off of that, planning a week of content and turning it into recentering your strategy around the holidays coming up.
Yeah. And having that week of content planned, but not stressing yourself out when you're also trying to live life during the holidays and work and vacation and family, possibly, and all of the above things that come around this time of year. It's just a way for you to not be scatterbrained, which I'm all about because I can be scatterbrained a lot.
Same over
But we're,
here. It's
yeah,
it's like life be life, and when we're trying to do other things, and it is so much a big help when we're able to focus, prioritize, and just now what we're going to talk about today is a new idea that we have, which we've talked about before. But instead of, working on that, what am I going to plan today kind of concept, we're going to help you figure out mapping content to offers or other launches, taking a period of rest when you need to. And
oh,
it's
yeah.
just something that is very helpful because, like I said before, it's very stressful when you've done so much throughout an entire year. And now you're just like, what is next? What do I do? Well, hopefully, this gives you a better idea on how to get more organized with your calendar, being smart about what you're planning with upcoming holidays.
Yeah, and not burning yourself out because I am definitely one that waits till the last minute to do most things. And then I underplan or I extremely overplan to where I'm like late or almost late. And it's so frustrating, but that's that ADD, baby. ADD gang.
And I think honestly, that's the same for me. It just there's so much going on. I think right now I've got my kids and they're doing their thing in school, so I've got to kind of I got to shift my schedule a little bit between all of my kids stuff and then, how I create content around our business and things like that. So, it's always a good idea to just revisit your strategy on how you're going to show up with your content. And I think one of the things why, Q4, it's a perfect reset season, and it's perfect because our audience's behavior has begun shifting, right? Everybody's starting to think, prioritizing, what they're going to be buying for holidays or anything like that. So if you're somebody who has a product and you're trying to think of content that gets in front of those individuals, start checking out what is going to be. I know, Candace, you're working with Amazon right now with something called Viral View, and you've just been all over that because that is something that is upcoming and brand new, but it's going to hit hard because it's something that is a need. It's fitting a need for a lot of people. And that's where you want to focus your content on, is what right now is going to be something fitting a need for a lot of people.
And the more that you plan now, the less stress you'll feel later. So let's just jump into our circle hack. And if you don't know what our circle hack is, it's just a quick bite-sized tip that we give you to take home and use today. And if you're a content creator or you're a business creating content around a product, a location, whatever, the circle hack is reverse engineer your content calendar. So instead of your ideas and the campaign ideas or the content ideas that you have, pull up the calendar and base it off of that. Mark the big events, right? You got your holidays, anything. If you're, for example, like Jennifer said, I've been working with Amazon and I got an email today about a product that we were talking back and forth about Black Friday, and they are launching on the 7th. So that would go on my calendar because that's an upcoming big event and a launch that brand wants us to be involved in. So family time, vacations.
Birthdays. I know it's the end of the year, so my kids, there's like every month to the end of the year, there's so many birthdays happening in my family. So I know that's another big thing. It's really helpful to think about making content that supports those kinds of content pieces rather than, well,
Exactly.
what am I just going to post for today? Think ahead. Think about what you're going to post for the holiday and then how to fit that into your content with that content calendar that you already have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very good at, like, the color coding organization, like, I've got different notepads all over that have different things written in them and goals and notes, but, like, color code them. Some people do that. My daughter is really good at that, like, she'll use a highlighter or, like, mark things off just so she can keep track of it. Do that if that's what helps you stay focused and helps you figure out what the content is. But the point is to take your calendar, fill in the big holidays that you know are coming up, fill in the big campaigns, fill in the family time, fill in every a vacation. You're going on a plane, you're going to be on a bus. Like all of those things are pieces of content that you can create. So you're doing all of these things. Now you just plug the content into those things that you're already going to do.
I love that you said that because we have an upcoming flight in December, and I know I'm gonna be recording as much content as I can while we're in the airport, getting on the airplane, getting off the airplane, in the hotel, everywhere we go while we're on our vacation. Is that kind of
Mhm.
far ahead thinking that you gotta put in with your content?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just our quick circle hack. I feel like I've had a mindset shift, especially this year. Last year, well, I think we've talked about this before. The first year was like our learning and our stumbling and learning how to walk and crawl and or crawl and then walk, whatever.
Cringe as crazy
Yeah.
creepiness we could.
And then the last year we were learning like deep in the dirt on content, where we can look at a video and we can tell you the who, what, when, where, and why that content is the way that it is. We can go to whomever and say, you need to change this and or update this, or here's a test. Not that you need to, we would say, we recommend this, right? We can do that. That was year two. This year has been so much for me about learning how to work with brands, pitching to brands, Amazon, YouTube, getting really deep, mo deeper in the weeds in that monetization piece of it. And it's also been a big mindset shift for me because you can go out and create content, but what's your plan for where it's going to go after? What's your funnel, right? And not even your like your funnel system, but your funnel. And like that is when someone goes to, they come across your reel on Instagram, they click your bio or they click your profile, they go to your bio, they click the link in your bio. Where does it take them? Your funnel could be Amazon. Your funnel could be a digital product. It could be a community. It could be a course. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be multiple links if you're an influencer. But the point is it's different to take that, okay, I'm a content creator. There's so many things that you can be and do and like as a content creator. And that mindset shift, thinking about scaling and growing is difficult. And that's where I feel like I've been this year specifically with kind of getting down deeper into the weeds to scale our businesses.
It is a huge step to go into thinking, well, how can I grow this even more? The scaling part is, I mean, we've talked about it. There's definitely a part of the boot camp that discusses scaling your business inside of our school community. And I think it's, again, it's just another mindset shift. Like you've gotten so focused on creating the content, how you create the content, how you're going to connect to your community, to now, okay, now I've created, hopefully I've built that community. Now I have people who are interested in what I'm talking about. So next is, taking that next shift into, well, what can I do to get my offers out there in another kind of way? And
Yeah.
this is something that I think a lot of people, they get so caught up in the weeds with their content creation that they forget the part about scaling their business, because they get so stuck on the views, they get so stuck on the commentaries, and they just don't think about, okay, now I need to move into what ways can I monetize what I'm doing. So I've done all of this work throughout the whole year. The first 3 quarters of the year, we're into late October now, and you're now, hopefully, is the time when your business blows up online,
Yeah.
because you've done all of this legwork for the last 10 months. Guys, 10 months is a long time to put in a lot of effort, a lot of learning, and I'm really hoping for your sakes that you have taken everything that we've walked you through, because how long have we been doing this podcast, Candace?
Almost a
Quite a
year.
while.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I
And it
mean,
just feels like
we're rocking and rolling, sister.
we're moving, right? We're helping you guys go through these things because we're going through them too ourselves, and that's why you're hopefully listening and following,
Yeah.
because we're experiencing things that a lot of people don't, or they're too scared to, in my opinion. They don't know enough, and so they need to get a little bit of reference points for it, and here we are. And
Yeah.
I know it's something you just want to think a little bit differently as a business owner rather than just a content creator, so that you can
Yeah.
truly take whatever your goal is for your account on these platforms, and turn it into whatever, because you can make so much income from whatever it is you're trying to do online. It's just a matter of how do you break it into different ways of making it, because I think your goal, Candace, I mean, we have our coaching. Candace, you got your
Mhm.
Amazon, and I think it's just really cool to know how many ways you can actually monetize just from creating content about whatever your offer is.
Well, right, and that's why we say think like a CEO. Think like you're building a business. When it's cool in the beginning when you're growing and you're trying to figure it all out to, just post. Consistency, quantity. I feel like a lot in the growth stages is important over quality, personally, but because that's how I've grown all my accounts is quantity. Just continuous 3 times a day,
Consistent. Yeah.
every day for 3 years. Like, that is it. But what about revenue cycles? Offers like we talked about, promotions, depending on what you're promoting or selling, right? The holidays are coming. People are looking for gifts. They're looking for this, they're looking for that. If you have taken all of your knowledge as a content creator and you can see who the audience is and you can see what the product is and you work with a brand and all of these things, it's it's creating a longevity. And we always say that this is the long game. This is the long game.
100%. Yeah, this
This
is
is
not,
not
if you're here for
there's no
that
way you
flash in the
post
pan stuff, not
well,
us.
right. We're at 30 something
Yeah.
podcast episodes. I don't expect us to like be ginormous until we're at least at 100. It's just like we tell people with content, you gotta have a bunch of stuff out there so you can evaluate it. We're
Exactly.
kind
You
of
gotta
there.
analyze everything, because that's
Exactly.
what it's your audience telling you what they want. When you go and analyze your reels that are performing well, the high hitting reels are hitting well because they spoke to your target customer for a reason. And those are
Mhm.
the kinds of pieces of content that you need to study, rework, redo, remake them. There was a formula to that reel that did very, very well. And if you take that into Q4 and with your content strategy and planning around product sales and things like that, you're just putting you're making a great hamburger, guys. You're smashing viral on viral on viral on viral, when you can just think about all of the stuff that you can put together with everything coming into this Q4 season. And I
But you
think
know what, Jennifer? Viral. If you ask 90 freaking percent of content creators and marketers and business owners that are out there, they will tell you that it's their nurture content. And it's not the viral content that sells. It's everything they do outside of the viral content that sells. It's not the virality, right? It's everything we do outside of that. Would you agree?
Sure, yeah. More of what worked well, just stacking
Oh,
everything that
yeah.
worked really well. That's what I mean when I
Your
say
level of
viral.
virality.
Your account's level of what does well, because we have reels on our platform that it's a new Instagram account at the Social Circle VIP. And even though we have less than 1,000 followers right now, we have viral for our size account video,
Mhm.
which that's something that I think gets overlooked a lot by newer accounts, by people with accounts that are again less than 1,000 or 10,000 total following. That's really where it meant where it was coming from. So
Your virality, your,
your account's virality, right.
yeah, the videos
What
that
does well for your size of account, just take everything that has done and performed very well, stack them all together into the next product sales video or whatever, whatever your, purpose is on your account.
but in all of this, and you know that we always talk about this, is keeping your mindset right,
Oh,
because you
yeah.
can't continue if you're burnt out, if you're ready to quit. So
Definitely, it's
having that
definitely
go
hard.
ahead. Yeah, having that consistency, that's why this content calendar would help because you're not stressing about worrying. That's why the circle hack, having that plan. I'm not good at planning that far in advance personally. I'm trying to get better at it. So maybe I'll do my reverse engineer content map from the circle hack.
Well, I've taken to using ChatGPT to help me with my content calendar. And I do that because of everything life is lifing while I'm doing this business on the side. And so knowing ahead of time what I'm going to post that day it's been very helpful for me. It's been less stressful for me because I already know a handful of video that does well that I can do for my if I'm just doing static posts, I know what I can make and in Canva that I can use as content reels. Things like that is just taking a lot of the stress off of me. So again, if you have maybe a carousel that performed well as an example on your account and it was something that was really tying people to you with emotions, try and get that into a way to work in a product with that, but not like blasting it in your face kind of content. We don't
Yeah.
want that. We don't
No,
want
that's
to push
brilliant. That's like
sales,
light
but
bulb just went off in my head while you were
yeah.
talking. I'm sitting
And
here
that's
mesmerized. That's really
hopefully that's what we're trying to, get those light bulbs to pop off for everybody is if something did well in your account, it did well for a reason. So how can you take that and turn it into product sales without sounding salesy? It's really
yeah.
hard to do, but there's a creator that I follow, Nicole Story Dent on Instagram and TikTok. She, to me, is a very hilarious woman, and she is constantly she's definitely into brand deals with like garments, clothing, things like that. And her take on how she promotes like the underwear brand Parade, I think is the name. She is amazing with what she does because her account is known for like 90s throwback living
Yeah.
and she shares all of her memories of like Thai beanie babies and vinyl
Mhm.
tracksuits and things like that. And she'll come at us with, a flashback of herself in high school and wearing whale tail thongs. And then it's like her talking to herself in her skit. And she's saying, well, now we don't wear those, we wear these and try this. And it's very her brand. And
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to help you figure out is what is your brand and how can you work in a product because that's really hard to do sometimes.
Hey,
And I
girl.
know,
Yes. It is
but that's what I
without
mean.
ugh,
When you
yeah.
figure out, when you have put in ten months worth of work on your account and you have found a style of video or reel or whatever that works well for your account, see how you can rework. Again, this is test on test on test on test. That's what marketing is. And
Mhm.
so you've done such a great playbook of testing for 10 months. Now take that and try and mash it up with your products for
Yeah.
these upcoming holidays.
And like Jennifer and I say all the time, because we're really bad at it and we don't want you to be, repeat, repeat, repeat. Do
Yes.
not be afraid to repeat something that works. And don't
Yep.
put a timeline on it. Like,
Oh
don't
God,
say,
no.
oh, I will only do it every 3 months and 2 weeks so that my audience no, your audience does not care. Just
Your
post it.
audience already forgot you because we
There's
need at least like 77 touches on an account before we make a purchase or whatever, right? So you
yeah.
see a commercial on TV, the Geico guy, I've seen that Geico commercial for decades and I still haven't bought it. I mean, it takes people time to trust and buy.
Yeah,
And just by that repetition, it's boring for us as a creator, but that's why you have fun with it and you try to rework it so that it's the same kind of feel, but it's telling the same story 100 different ways. Are you able to do it?
yeah,
That's really what it's about, and it's something that gets lost a little bit throughout the year because we get so and that was my mistake when I was creating content is I was so in a rush because I did put a time limit on what I was trying to do, and it just I was speaking to everybody and I was selling to no one, and it really busted my chops. Like, I was super sad. But
yeah,
then I realized, I had to, stop talking to everyone. I had to really focus on what my brand was going to be on my account. And so depending on what you're doing, guys, this is something that will take time, but time
mhm,
without a timestamp.
yeah, for real. And
Yeah.
everybody's timeline is different, and everybody's journey, and everybody's path, and everybody's everything. Jennifer and I sit here across from each other
Mhm.
with the crazy amount of knowledge that we've just learned over the last 3 years together, but we create differently. We have different end goals. Like, essentially, they're both the same. We want like, the big end goal, we want our family to be safe, secure, and free from any time or financial anything that would weigh us down. That's both of us our ultimate goal.
Yep.
But there's a long path to get there, and for Jennifer, it's a long straight path. For me, there's a long path with, like there was a ditch, and I went down, like, a ravine at one point and came back up. Like, so Jennifer's the calm one on the path. I'm the one that's going off over here, but, like, they're different. That's my point. They're
Yeah.
different, but at the end of the path, we're gonna be there together. We'll both be at the end of the path. We just took different ways to get there. We both created different content to get there, and
I
that's
love
the
that you
same. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love that you pointed that out because that's something that some creators take years to figure out and they still don't figure it out in the long run. And they
Right,
always
because
wonder why didn't it work?
we're so focused on copying. Well, they
Yeah.
were successful. Why
Yeah.
can't I? Why wasn't I successful? I did the same reel. I did
Mhm.
the same sound. I said that constantly. I
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, no, me too. I was posting the same content that they were and they were going viral and I wasn't. What the difference was is that their audiences were not my audiences
Mhm,
and their audience loved them for the content they were making. So it would
mhm,
go viral because their audience loved the creator. They didn't love
mhm,
the content that was being made. They loved the creator who made the content. And
mhm,
that's the difference that I did not understand in the beginning. And that's why we try to focus you in on building a community first of people that love you for you, the brand that
mhm.
you are, the person that you are on your account. And then the sales will come later. Don't just focus on like I think there was a whole year I think on online where it was nothing but buy this course to resell this course. We'll teach you how to sell it and resell it and all of that stuff. And it was kind of sickening because people were falling for it, sadly,
Do
but
you know
nobody was
what?
actually
That crap
taking
is
the course.
still out there.
It
I
is.
still see that crap sometimes when I'm on my
Yeah.
burner account.
And it is because the creator who makes that kind of content has not learned how to make any other kind of content. They
Mhm,
only know how to sell something to teach somebody to resell something else. That's
mhm.
the one and only way that they know how to make content on their account. Sadly, I mean, some people that is just what they want to do, and that's fine. You can be that. We're not that. That's not what we're here for. We're here to
Right.
help you build that community so that no matter what you talk about, no matter what your offer is, somebody's going to say, "Well, I'll take that." You know, I remember
I
my mentor said that once, and I'm like, "That's brilliant."
yeah, absolutely. And to do that, strategy helps. Having this map with your content helps. It gives you a simple flow to kind of walk through, okay, these are the upcoming things that I have,
Mhm.
whatever. um, trips, St. Patrick's Day, freaking plan out the whole year. Grab a book and plan out the whole year if you
Yeah.
can. I'm not the one. I
There
could
was a
maybe do a
creator I
couple
saw who
weeks.
did a whole year worth of the same photo in the same place, but just a different whatever the month was, she wore an outfit to match the month. And so at
Yeah.
the end of the year, it was a whole carousel of 12 pictures of her in every season of the whole year. And I'm like, that is dedicated planning on your calendar.
Yes, and we talked about that in our holiday content
Yes.
episode. So make sure
Thank
you
you.
check that out at this link right up here on our YouTube.
That is a good one to go back and visit. And I would like to take a moment, if we can, to spotlight a creator of ours in our school community because she's done amazing work on her account and
Mhm.
she's come up from, not understanding how to create content for her target audience to now I get it. And now she's getting so many brand deals. Like it's coming in and she's just emailing us and texting us, "Oh my God, another one."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm proud of her.
I am too. And we wanted to highlight Jess Stapleton, which she has been on.
TheScrunchymom.com.
Yeah, she's been on the pod before. Check
Yes.
that out as well. But we, a couple months ago, all of us, you and I, we didn't really know, the whitelisting, the allow listing, I think is what they're referring to it now, like allow listing, whitelisting, brand partnerships. When you click the little brand partnership tab? When do you put
Mhm.
hashtag sponsored? What is the requirement for the FTC? We were all kind of learning just a few months ago together inside of the community. And we went through this, and Jess was offered a brand deal, which we discussed. It was whitelisted, and it's since been posted. And a couple things I want to point out is number one, she did phenomenal. We will link them in the show notes, but she's talking about something with full passion that she loves, that she can go 10 toes down and support this product. I really loved that. So shout out to Jess on that.
Mm.
And the whitelisting, when it comes up, it's got her name. It says paid promotion, but it's not on her account. So
No.
she did these videos, the brand put them out there, they're on her account ish, like from her name, but
Mhm.
it's not even on her reels. So that was something I wanted to point out to our audience because there is a lot of confusion when it comes to whitelisting and brands and partnerships and how do you keep yourself out of jail?
And that thank you for explaining all of that because that is something that I think the clarity behind that helps. So if you wanted to partner with someone that you don't want to have on your main feed on your account that you've been working so hard to make content, you don't have to. It gets
Mhm.
listed to that brand's sponsorship page, whatever it is they're
Mhm.
doing to take your video and put it out into the world on the internet. It doesn't always have to show up on your account unless you want it to. I think you get to have
It's
that
gotta be
choice.
Meta Business back office. I know
Okay.
TikTok, they've got, like, ad codes and things like that. That is something I've not explored yet and don't really have the mental capacity to do. But I just think it's cool because it gives you the opportunity to still make these videos and promote these products, but you don't have to put it on your own feed.
That I
And
think is a really great benefit too, because again, if it's something that you feel you like, you don't want your customers to know, they don't have to. Your audience or community, I should say,
your
not your
community,
customers,
yeah.
but yeah, your community, it may not be for that community, and that's fine. But that's where I think we get so wrapped up in how do I get the monetization on my account? Well,
Mhm.
sometimes you don't get the monetization from simply having an Instagram account, for example. You might get contacted by a brand and they might ask you, can you or do you wish to partner with us? And that product that you partner with will go to their account and their sponsorships, whatever it is, whatever ways that they're choosing to send that information out to the world, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what gets so scary is we don't know that stuff. And that's why we point that out because your account can just be about cooking, but you might love racing as a hobby, but the racer who's watching you might love you for you in your cooking account. And so you
Yeah.
can partner with that brand and show off, whatever it is, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's something I'm glad that you brought.
Absolutely. And we stay talking about the people in our community because we love them. We love helping people get there faster than we did. And I want to highlight that inside of the VIP circle, we have a crap ton of tools, including a content planner that you can go out and plug and play. And us, we would be there to answer your questions and help you out and meet every Tuesday on Taco Tuesday live. So don't forget about that. I just wanted to put that out there for anybody that wanted that tangible, put it in my hand content planner instead of trying to figure out one on their own.
And I think one thing that I'd really like to point out, if you got anything out of this episode, guys, is you don't need to have a busier calendar. You just need it to be a smarter one. And it's not hard to do. It's just instead of asking, what am I going to do today? You got to ask, what is one thing you're taking off your calendar this quarter so you can focus on
Mhm.
what matters.
Yeah. Like you take away the stress of planning the content, having a calendar and having a strategy. Like Jennifer said, you don't need a million things on that calendar. You just need them to be smartly placed. They just need to be put in the right places at the right time. That's
And
how we're trying to plan all of our content now
yeah.
because we are not a lot of our content that we're producing for brands go onto our social media platforms. It's outside of that on Amazon or YouTube. So it's not on our Instagram or whatever. So it's a different world. But there's room for everybody, guys. There's room for everybody to succeed. Let us help you succeed.
100%. I think we focus in on the content in the beginning, but once you've kind of figured that out, there's the monetization leg of it, and that's just part of building your business while you're doing it. We're learning, we're growing, and hopefully expanding. And I think if you are interested in more episodes like this, it just help you out a whole bunch if you were to hit subscribe and follow us at the Social Circle. We are on Instagram at the Social Circle VIP. And I want to say thank you so much to you for listening in on this episode. I know it was kind of, I feel like a heavy one because it was a lot of technical talk, I would say, but it's beneficial and it's
Yeah.
helpful for you to kind of think things through like that. And anybody else, if you feel like they are interested in this kind of information, definitely share that over to your friends who are looking into this kind of stuff. And thank you, Candace, for your awesome explanation of whitelisting because that's something that a lot of people just don't get yet.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just really basic. We'll put some more info in the show notes and of course, our community. So, I hope you guys have a great
Have a great
week.
week.
And thank you, Jennifer. I love you and thank you everyone for listening.
I love you. Have a great week, everybody.